Hey guys, I'm hoping this is live. No, it's not. Is it? Live chat? We'll see. I hope so. If you're watching this on playback, please don't forget to go get your tickets for my tour. It all seems like it's all going like I say it's all going ahead. No, what I mean is everything is going ahead, obviously. But it seems like people are getting more confident as well with getting tickets and stuff like that, which is really cool. So please, if you can, buy your tickets sooner rather than later. Helps me a lot. Allows me to like pre-plan for venues, pre-plan for musicians and stuff like that. So please do that. Secondly, what else do we have? Please make sure to follow me on Spotify. Audio's doubles. Ooh. Boop boop. Okay, that should maybe make it better. Is that okay? Sorry. Wait, I'll just talking. I'm going to keep talking until someone says that that's right. I don't know why I have two audio devices on my screen. Is it back? Is it gone? Is it gone? Is it back? Is it gone? Is it back? Fixed. Amazing. Sorry. No idea why I had two mics on. So it was my computer mic and my face mic. Yeah, please go follow me on Spotify. Apparently the Spotify lords like it a lot. When you do that, it's really good for their algorithms. So please just go do that. And also, if you can, whack me in a playlist. All these things really, really help. So, yeah. What else? My Patreon. I have a Patreon. Thanks so much. I do have a Patreon. It'd be great if you could, like, go follow me on there. I'd really appreciate it. Peace. Thanks so much. So what's happened this week? Let me just. Remember last week I wasn't feeling that great? Okay. So basically, I went how long without being sick? Very long time, like over a year. So I traveled back to Ireland and I didn't get COVID, but I just got a cold. Like, you know the way it goes when you travel, you just kind of pick stuff up. So I got a cold and I had a wee bit of an infection. And then because I had a dodgy tooth, it basically set off, that infection set off the infection in my tooth. And then the whole thing was bad. The whole thing not good. I ended up having a really, really bad infection in a tooth that really shouldn't be in my mouth at all. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. Yeah. That tooth should not be in my mouth whatsoever at all. No, it has no business being there. Because it was a dodgy tooth. Anyway, so I had a big infection in my gum and that started, it's like Saturday night or Friday night. I can't remember if it was Friday night or Saturday night, but either way, it was the nighttime where it flared up, and I was like, okay, huh? Yeah, Friday night. So after the stream, it flared up, and then Saturday seemed to be okay. I had no real issues during the day. Just obviously a wee bit sick, like I said. But anyway, it got worse. So Sunday, I woke up and it seemed to be fine, but by 4 o'clock, even though I'd definitely got like very little sleep that night, and then by 4 p.m. it just went off, and it was weird because it's not just like a tooth. It felt like my top and my bottom because of the infection, so it just felt like my whole jaw. Luckily, I had an ice pack in the freezer, so I managed to just like go upstairs, take some painkillers, which I didn't really have a lot of. I went and bought some that day, luckily, but the night before that I got like zero sleep. I had no painkillers in my house. Very upsetting. But anyway, I took some painkillers and then it wasn't really working, but I put that ice pack on my face for like 3 hours and eventually kind of felt like it eased off. Then I managed to find an actual good painkiller in my bag, and that meant that night was actually pretty okay until the middle of the night, and I just kept waking up, and I was like, oh, this is a bit crap, innit? But anyway, then over the bank holiday weekend, I just got destroyed. I couldn't get out of bed on Monday. I just couldn't. Like, I spent the whole day in bed, and the weather was amazing. And I literally just was like, meh. But luckily got more ice packs, so that was chill. Called 111 on Tuesday, because bear in mind it was a bank holiday, so nothing was open, and that's obviously really, really frustrating, because it meant that I actually couldn't just go to the dentist, you know. And I'd been to A&E before for the exact same pain a wee while ago, and they were just like, eh. So, yeah, anyway, went and got that looked at on Tuesday. Luckily, the dentist that I contacted over that weekend that I used to be registered to managed to get back to me. And though I had to travel quite a way to get there, I could make that appointment. And she was an absolute star. She was just a gem. I love her. So she took me in, and I explained to her, because clearly I was a bit shaky, and I was a bit like, meh. But nothing had happened yet. And then I needed to, so she investigated. Yeah, it was that tooth. She's like, we're gonna have to perform half half a root canal. And I was like, no. It's like, we can't do the whole root canal. I don't have time. But we can remove the nerve so that you are free from pain. I can put some medication in there and fix it. So basically, that's what she ended up doing. And she was such a sweetheart. I really struggled to take to anesthetic for some reason. So one needle in, nothing. Second needle, literally straight into the tooth, still nothing. And on the third time, I never knew this. So if anyone else doesn't know this, here's a heads up. I went in, and then on the third one, it felt like my face had been hit by lightning. My whole face just like electrocuted. I can't explain it any better. Like, you know when you get an electric shock on your finger? That, but like 10 times worse in my face. And I was so shook, because I'd never had that before. And I was so panicked. Anyway, she had to go leave to get some stuff. And I was just like there with the nurse, and I just started crying. I was like, I'm so sorry. And I'd explained to them already. I was like, I'm a massive big baby. I'm such a baby. I'm such a baby. She's like, it's okay. Like, it's absolutely fine. That's actually a really good sign. The fact that you felt the electric shock means that she got that nerve on the head, which means you're not going to feel anything at all. And she was right. I felt zero of everything that she did. I closed my eyes, obviously, because I knew that she was going to have to like sew some stuff and like go in there and, you know, go wild. But the nurse was so lovely, and the doctor herself. So I explained to her why I have such a fear of dentists. Like, I had a like 2 hour experience once with a doctor trying to get this out. I should have been put under. My root was twisted, but he didn't x-ray me. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I explained that to her, and she was very understanding, and she was very sweet, and just very calming. So even though I was obviously very upset and like, she's like, are you sure? Like, we can just wait. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm just the world's biggest baby. I'll be fine. Just keep going. I'm used to this. She was great. So she sorted it all out, and I think I have to go and get sedated now and like get the tooth out. So yeah, so now I have a temporary crown thingy majiggy on my tooth, which is good. Totally not afraid to like brush it off at all. But hey ho, it happens. Life happens. That's my tooth update. That's kind of why I went a wee bit quiet, because I didn't notice I'd been quiet. Sedating the patient takes time. See, I don't know what she means by sedating, because honest to God, the way she said it sounded like they're going to put me under to get this tooth out, and I think it may be because that may also be a twisted root. So, yeah. Janet, do you have a Facebook secret page? No, I don't. I don't know how many times I have to tell people that I don't have another Facebook account. Why would I have another Facebook account? I'm not messaging you. I will never ask you for, I will, I do message people, right? But if it's not coming from an account that's got a blue tick, it's not me. I don't know why these fake accounts like to use my face so much and be like, oh, I'm Janet, I'm just using a different account. I really wanted to reach out to you. It's not me. It's not me. I'll never ask you for money. I'll never ask you for anything like that on like a DM on an account that's not got a verified blue tick. Do you know what I mean? Like, this happens so much. The amount, I, at least like 3 times a week, I get like a DM from someone being like, hey, just wanted to message you saying it's been really nice to talk to you lately. And I'm like, ha, for what? 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 Me? What? No. Have I texted my mother back? No. I wouldn't be just having private convos. Yeah, if the conversation starts with, hey babe, it's probably most definitely not me. Yeah. Eh? 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 Why is my phone going off? Tomorrow is 1 year since the release of Confessional, my confessional, 5th of June. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much. I may or may not have sat down and wrote a little something this afternoon about that. And it's very hard to like express my feelings on that record and that book. Because I don't think anyone will ever truly know how much that really saved me. I think today what I realized upon like reflecting on the release especially of the album and the book was that I know a lot of people might just say like, oh, that's such a shame you had to release your book and album during a global pandemic, all the rest of it. But quite honestly, if I didn't have the book and the album to release and plug and like work on the release part of things, I don't really know how I would have made it through the lockdown, because it's such an isolating experience, obviously, lockdown. And you're stripped away from being a social person and you're not allowed to be a connected human being. And I know a lot of people struggle to find that connection online and on the internet. Like, they still have yet to find like their tribe on the internet. But for me, every single day since that album came out, somebody reminds me of like my personhood and my humanity, like by telling me a story that they have, something they related to in the album and the book, and maybe sometimes like how the album and the book helped them in things. And I feel like that in and of itself was the best thing for me during lockdown. Like I was constantly reminded, I know a lot of people would think it's like a bad thing, but I was constantly reminded of the fact that I was an alcoholic and an addict and all of those things every day during lockdown. And I think I needed that, because it would have been very, very easy to forget that in the midst of the global pajama party. So I don't know. And every day, like being able to wake up and have literal proof of my purpose. Like there was always something in my diary to do with music, to do with writing or being creative. And genuinely, it kept me going through that lockdown, and all the lockdowns. So, and also just like logging on and seeing like lovely supportive messages from people, and like not to mention the stages and stuff. Like, all of that, it was like my fuel to like keep going, because I struggled, obviously, like a lot of people struggled with the addiction voice in their head during lockdown. Because if I think it's that knowing, right? I knew in the back of my head, if I relapsed, people would have been understanding. You know, people would have been like, wow, of course you relapse. Like, I'm drinking so much, so I can't even imagine how it is for you, you know. Like, of course you're gonna like want to drink alcohol. These are really unprecedented times, and everyone would have understood. Everyone would have given me like a free pass to drink and use or whatever, and you know, I didn't have to, because I've said it a million times and I'll keep saying it, but like the opposite of addiction isn't sobriety, it's connection. And even though I couldn't be connected to people in my real life, in my everyday life, you guys allowed me to feel that same level of connection, but through the internet. Do you see a picture to you about? Did you saw my picture to you about you? Were you the person who sent me a lovely drawn image? I got a photo from my team of a drawn image, and I told them that it's beautiful. It was very cool. Thank you so much. If that was you, made my day. Very like unique style. Um, Sorry if my chair's squeaking. Danny DeVito, I love your work. I am gonna look at some of the questions from Instagram, because sometimes Instagram just is fuel for hilarity. Um, oh, things are serious on my Insta. What's going on? Oh, people are being really nice. Anyway, ah, okay, sorry. Someone literally just sent me a DM saying boobless. Okay, chill. Um, would you ever do a cover of the Sound of Silence? I would absolutely love. I have done it, and I did it for a launch campaign that somebody bought it, but I've not done it publicly. Woo! Thank you so much. Also, Jack, I forgot to properly say thank you for your tip. Um, I just went on a tangent about the album. Thank you, Jack. Uh, would you punch a fan for £1,000? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, if they were a willing participant and I like gave them half, if I was like, hey, you want £500 if you let me punch you in the face, I'm sure someone's got a kink for it, and that'd be fine. I'd be like, you know. There's a lot of love for my nails. Thank you, guys. I would love to get them done like nicely, because I did them, and that means that they are like, you can see that it's very not good. That's not gonna focus, but I can't be bothered to make it focus. Would you do a cover of Amy Winehouse Rehab? No, because I don't. She's too good. Cameron Flint, I just wanted to say thanks. While I was writing my dissertation, your music and content was great distraction, such comfort when things got tough. Thank you so much. That's cute. If it's a creepy fan, should do it for free. Yeah, I didn't know that was an option. Punch me, daddy. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. 10 OnlyFans requests. No, I don't have any things to tell you about the EP or songs dropping from the EP just yet, but as soon as I do, I will. Trust me. I love your makeup. Thank you. I put on some like really long eyelashes today, as you can see. Like, ooh, grande intenso, bro. Have you ever been asked to star in a film? I auditioned for a really big film once. I got asked to, which meant I got fast forwarded to the lines. It was like between me and like three. No, I was in the top three for the film, even though I hadn't done anything. And yeah, I did not get it. I don't even know if that film went on to be made, to be honest. But it was like a big, I don't want to throw names, but it was a big Warner Bros. Film. But I've not seen anything about it since. Oh my god, can you imagine Italian Greyhound nails? Wow. When will you release a new album? Bear with me. I think my dream is to release the next one with like a label. I think that would be cool. Would you invite Pixie Cat to do a stream with you sometime? Host of the year. If she's game, why the frick not? So many new music questions. Guys, I'm working on it. 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 Trust me. I don't just like put something out and then just go, alright, bye music. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Never want to see you again. I'm working on it. If you could tell your dog one thing and have them fully understand, what would you tell it? Thank you, Conzo. I bought you. Be grateful. No, I'm kidding. Just that I love him. I would tell him that I love him even though I'm not there. That would be my thing. Yes, my dog can come stream with you. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate it. Wee Pixie in her wet. She looked like she looked okay in the photo. I hope she's okay. I want to give her a big hug when she can. What is the question you get asked the most? Am I starting an OnlyFans? Did you get that stalker's address to send them penis glitter bomb? It's a thing. No. People were, I think, apparently trying to dox the person because, oh, I'll fill you in. What did they message me? Okay, let me pull up my Depop. Okay, so if you don't know, this is an interesting one. I have a Depop account where I sell my clothes, but also I buy clothes, right? Because I like to buy. I'm trying to be good for the environment, you know? I don't want to just like constantly buy new stuff from the likes of like these big companies whenever I can just buy something that somebody doesn't love anymore, but I will love, you know? So anyway, I use Depop quite a bit, but this person DM'd a person that I'd left a review for, because, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where people leave reviews and all that kind of stuff. Like, you want to let people know that their service is good so that other people will in the future buy from them. That's the vibes. Let me just pull up the receipt I have. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Right. So I bought something, left a review, all the rest of it, and then this girl sent me a DM on Instagram. Girls DMing me on Instagram are true angels because I've caught someone cheating and now I've caught someone trying to ask for my address. What a time to be alive. The internet, beautiful. Women, amazing. Okay, here we go. This guy called Paul P. Baker sent a message saying, hi, to the shop owner. Hi, my GF Janet, my girlfriend Janet, brought a top of you, but hasn't received it yet. What address did you send it to? She says a white one with a button in the middle. Janet D was her account. She lost her password. She said it had 2 long sleeves and it was about 2 months ago. How is this man getting this information? Well, your reviews are public on Depop. Okay? Your reviews are public. I was wondering how that person who pretended to be your boyfriend knew your client information. They don't. My client isn't the client that he's laid out here. So he decided to look at my reviews that I'd left. Anyway, I went on this guy's account, like I think a lot of people did. However, he changed it. He changed the name of the account. He's now deleted his account, but he changed it to Steve Smith 5000. You know? And I sent him a DM saying, because it literally changed as I clicked his profile, it refreshed to the new page, and I was like, oh, sneaky, sneaky. And I goes, could you maybe not try and find out where I live, please? That's actually terrifying. To which he messaged me back, but like the man has the gall to send me a message back. And he says, you have my word, it'll never happen again. I'll disappear now. I'm sorry. And it was just to send flowers, but I see now how wrong I was. Please don't see this as a threat or anything bad. I was just thinking, and again. Absolutely, yeah, totally. Totally want to send me flowers. Yep. Not like anyone else who just, sends flowers to management and then I get them. But no, that's fine. You just send them to my fucking house. Anyway, I know you don't owe me anything, but please take the Insta story down. I'm getting death threats. Some knowing my mother's address where I don't live and she doesn't deserve. I'm going to say that's, you know what? One, you either probably don't live there, or two, you probably still live with your mom. Let's face it. Anyway, very creepy, very weird. I didn't respond back to that because I was like, no. Also, as someone who's received many a death threat online, that person's just doing it to spook you. And he deserved to be spooked, which clearly he was because he deleted his page. So, anyway, I'm still alive. I just wanted to send you some flowers. I just wanted to send you some flowers. I wonder how that would work if I just turned up at like a hero of mine's house and was like, I just wanted to send you some flowers. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, apparently people started to dox this guy, which is not cool. Like, don't dox anyone. But obviously, it scared him enough to like delete his account. So. Hope you're having a good Friday. Pascal, hi! Stay spooked. I agree. I had to say I really like your hair color. Thank you so much. Like, yeah, the office exists for a reason. Yep. Yeah, can I get your insurance number? I want to send you a gift. Yeah, toast, my guy. Yeah, can I have your national insurance number? Can I have your bank details? What's your mother's maiden name? I don't speak about my relationships because people online send death threats to whoever I date. So we don't do that. I think I've said before, like, unless I get in that part of my life where I'm with someone and I'm like, this is the person I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, or there's a ring on my finger, I won't be putting it online because it's for their safety and my own. Because people like to, yeah, basically threaten people I date. So we don't do that anymore. Or they like create fake profiles with their faces, and it's all a bit weird, my guy. So that's cool. We love it. We love to see it. If you could body swap with anyone for a week, who would you pick? Ooh, we get jealous. That's not my problem. Do you want, like, am I supposed to stay single for the rest of my life and not be in a relationship? Do I not deserve love like every other person in this world? Everybody deserves love. So do I. But I would make it public, and if I was with that person and I knew that person was gonna be with me for the rest of my life, because I like to share my life. I like to share my life. I don't have to share my life, obviously, but I'd only obviously be able to do that because I've made friends now who don't like being on the internet. That are, the person I'm going away with to Cornwall does not like being online. Refuses to post things online, and I'm like, cool. You don't want to exist on the internet. I'm chill with that. That's chill, okay? And that's friends. So I'm assuming that there's people like that out there that exist in relationships and stuff. So obviously, it's like up to the person I'm with. Have you still got the alphabet cardigan? Yeah. I did not need to read that. Okay. Who could I body swap with? Just Momoa, babes. Or that guy Brockhampton. For surezies. Did I get my chicken? I did. I will be saying a proper thanks soon. Yes, he's still in the packaging because I. The delivery guy was possibly the funniest part of that. Also, thank you, Tony. Delivery guy, so funny. He's like, I've got a parcel here for Janet, and I was like, oh, thanks, babes. And he just went, like, he squeezed the Amazon box, and he was like. He was so amused. So thank you for that. That drawer. God only knows what's in that drawer. Would you ever? No. OnlyFans. Concerning that person, yep. Somebody wants to buy me a security camera. Don't worry, I have security cameras. I appreciate it. Sorry for your ears. Going to Mexico. I'd love to someday. It's a chicken. It's a chicken. It's a cute chicken. Oh. It's my biggest insecurity. I don't like to talk about it. I don't like people know my insecurity. Because I have one main insecurity. Bobs. Will you start to ride horses again? Yes, I'm trying to. I've got all my riding gear over here. Have you ever dated a woman? I think is that a man or a woman sending that? Because it's quite different. I think it's a woman. Okay, if a guy sends me a question saying have you ever dated a woman, definitely a different vibe. But it's a woman, I think. And yes, I have dated a woman before. What is the time zone? British summertime. But they've asked that on Instagram, and I didn't let them know. So they're probably going to miss it. Okay, well, cool. Okay, that's two. Just got my dissertation grade back on A. You get at least partial credits. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Imagine writing English. Oh my god, leave me alone. English writing style, way better. You can't jump doing Western. You can't do the fun things. I like adrenaline. I like to live on the wild side. And a quarter horse and a Western saddle isn't exactly going to bring me adrenaline. It's going to be a fun, comfy little ride where the horse does everything. And I just sit there and I do this. Cha-cha-cha. Don't move leg. Cha-cha-cha. Not my vibe. Not my vibe. Don't want it. Nah. I wanna feel involved. I wanna be a part of it. Oop. I don't want to jump Western. If you can jump Western, I don't want to jump Western. That thought in my brain, uncomfy. Hire your stirrups long enough. What the frick? Uh? Ain't nobody ever done rodeo English, and that's adrenaline. Babes, You clearly did not meet my horse Pepe, because that boy, rodeo pony, okay? Did he ever have his 2 feet on the ground? No. Did he want people off him? Yeah. That's rodeo. Is the chicken going to be used as a musical instrument? Sure. Let me get my software up so I can melodyne its vocal. Have you ever had your feelings unreciprocated? Yes. Absolutely. You know what? That's funny. You're a horse girl. I can't stand horse girls, but somehow we get along. Do you know what? You're not the first person to say this, okay? You know that there's like a trend at the minute where people are like, I'm an international super spy. That's mine. My big secret that people don't know is the fact that I'm like, I mean, people know, but like they don't know to the true extent how much of a horse girl I am. But yeah, no, my feelings absolutely have been unreciprocated. But I always end up laughing because they always come back. And then I'm really stubborn, so I always tend to be like, go away. Also, oh my god, no, Jess just said a quarter of Pixie's gone. By the way, Jess's poor puppers lost her leg, okay? And I've got to say, Jess, that is a pretty amazing joke, because I was talking about quarter horses, and she's gone. A quarter of Pixie is gone. Amazing. I don't know what I'm supposed to say, but that's pretty funny. Yes, there will be playback available on this video. I think because of the BPD thing, it has become very apparent to me that I do the favorite person thing a lot, which is great. I am currently in a new form of therapy, especially for working on my relationships, which is very interesting. Okay, we're trying to mend the fear of connection with human beings, which is great. We love it. Anyway, I'm working on it, but basically in the past I've definitely had the favorite person thing, which like literally just means that I will become unhealthily obsessed with one person, build my whole mental life around that person. So when that person from my past comes back that didn't like me, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't care about you anymore because that's my favorite person. That's my obsession now. So, peace out. You missed your chance. You could have had something that was going to stick on you like glue forevers and evers and always. Thanks. Bye-bye. So, anyway. I mean, is it a rocky road with borderline personality disorder in relationships? No, not at all. Not at all. It's fun. Anyway, I'm working on it. Have I been ghosting my therapist? Maybe. My other therapist, Mark. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I very much doubt you're watching this, but if you are, I don't mean to ignore your emails. I said I would go to therapy again, and then I bailed. And I apologize for that. But I'm currently in this other therapy that's short-term therapy to work on my relationships. But I should go back to Mark. But it's very expensive. It's not that expensive. It's £60, but £60 is my grocery for the week. So I'm like, babes, I gotta eat. Eh? So you've never liked anyone that didn't like you eventually? Well, yeah, but that's really shallow. In a sense. Because a lot of the time it was like we'd go on a date and then they didn't like me, and then they'd find out what my career was, and then they're like, oh, I like you now magically overnight, apparently. And I'm like, you know? So, yeah. It like always seemed to be, yeah, that the people that didn't want me first time around didn't know what I did, and then they somehow find out what I did. And then when they find out what I did, then it was like, ah, magically so in love with you. Ma, ma, ma. And I'm like, no. Why do you think you fear relationships? Past trauma. It's not that I fear relationships. I don't. I need to work on developing and nurturing healthy relationships. Did anyone ever crawl back because of the balcony photo? Yes. Anytime I post a photo of my body, it's like every act in my life is like, hey! And I'm like, you do realize I know what you're doing. But no, it's true. Like, I'm currently working on healthy relationships, you know, like how to do that, how to work with that, how not to be afraid of a healthy relationship, like how not to run away, and also how not to need constant validation. Because what I've learned is that if somebody says, oh, like, I love you, I'm like, oh, I love you too. And then if they go away, my feelings are like peekaboo. They're like, I feel like their feelings for me are like peekaboo. Like, if they go away and they don't see me, my brain struggles to comprehend how they still love me if they're not there. So, like, I have no concept of emotional permanence whatsoever. So if somebody leaves, even temporarily, I'm like, oh no, they don't love me. Nope, they don't love me. They don't love me. They're gone. They've left me. I'm all alone. It's over. I'm on my own forever. They don't care about me. I'm on, and then I go into God complex. So one minute I'm like, oh, I'm unlovable, no one will want me. And then God complex kicks in. It's like, we're the best thing ever. We're gonna go, like, they don't deserve us. Nobody deserves us. Let's go find the person who can actually keep up with us. So there's that, which is great. And then I tell myself I'm fine and everything's amazing and life is all gravy, baby. And I don't feel my feelings, but I don't recognize that, and I think I'm fine. I'm like, oh, did I just go through a really turbulent breakup? Yeah, but I'm okay. And it's like, babes, you're manic. So, yeah, it's great. I love life. Emotional, but it's a BPD thing. It's not like, it's not necessarily I know my attachment style is, what is it? Fearful avoidant. So that's cool. But that's what my therapist lady wants to talk about next Thursday. She wants to be like, let's delve into your relationship style. And I'm like, you mean obsessive? I don't know. What are you talking about? You ah? What are you talking about? I just need to get better at boundaries. Everything in my life always as well comes down to boundaries, either non-established boundaries by me or non-established boundaries by other people. So, hey, does it make for good art? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there is a silver lining to all of this. And that's the fact that because I'm so emotionally unregulated, And yeah, it means that my emotions are really intense when I'm in them. So writing songs and poetry and stuff's easy when you're like that. You have a female therapist. Is that a first? I haven't had a female therapist since the one I told that I was anorexic and I'd been sexually assaulted. I think we can say that now. Sexually assaulted. I told her when I was like 15. She was my therapist at the time, and she did nothing about it. I told her to help me do something about the sexual assault, and she didn't. So I, from then on, yeah, did struggle to trust women therapists, and I don't know why. But yeah, since then I'd always had male therapists as well. Although I had a psychiatrist that was a woman once, but that didn't go well. She asked me how I was in my first appointment within like 3 seconds, and I started crying. And I was like, "Do I have to be here?" And she's like, "No." So during X Factor, she's like, "Do you have to be there?" I was like, "No," and I left. I got up and I left. So, which my new psychiatrist laughed at, because obviously my new psychiatrist was like, "So have you been to a psychiatrist before?" And I was like, 2. 1 in rehab. He was cool. But also there was this one time on X Factor where I literally just got up and walked away. He was like, "Uh-huh." And I'm like, oops. I didn't know about an assault. Yeah, dude. Oh wait, I need to post my TikTok whilst we are chilling, my guys. Scoop. How did that one do earlier? Not great. Okay, well, that's okay. Win some, lose some. I can't remember what my TikTok was.
Someone asked me yesterday, like,
Sorry. I'm cross-pollinating. No goals, just vibes is today's caption. This is what posting on TikTok is like for me. I'll film something in the day when it's bright and just post it in the evening with 0 thoughts. My most recent psychiatrist was amazing. I've given out his details to quite a lot of people. I don't know how he feels about that, but no, he was awesome. Like, genuinely really chill, really sound. He's chased me now a bagillion times to ask for like a follow-up chill call. He's like, "Let's have an informal phone call about your diagnosis, chat about, what you can do moving forward, and just have a little like see how you're doing, where you're at." And I ignored his emails for like 2 weeks. So there's that. I emailed him back. Don't worry, I emailed him this morning. Cool. No, but he's great. So, like, I've said to people, like, if you're wanting to go and get a private psychiatrist for like a diagnosis, I'll give you his contact. All I can obviously say is like, I used him. I recommend him. He might not be for you. That's not a guarantee, Not sponsored by my psychiatrist. No, I was about to finish work and got a Karen right at the end. Oh no. Oh. Karens have always been a thing, because I was watching The Help again the other night. Don't know what came over me. I wanted to watch it again. And Jesus Christ, Karens have just always been a thing. Because that movie, I was like, Karen. La la la. Not Spawn. I'm also bipolar and BPD. Woo! So I definitely resonate with a lot of what you're saying. Hot Wheels, high five. And apparently you have trauma in your past too, so. So it says, abandon these relationships, only sex. I don't want to do that. Nothing against casual sex, by the way. Go get it if you want to do that. That's chill. But, I talked about this before, and a lot of people find it interesting because they identified and didn't know it was a thing. And that's something I don't really talk about a lot, and not a lot of people talk about it, but I think it helps some people who like labeling things. Demisexuality is a thing. It's not an actual sexuality like, gay or bi or pansexual, but demisexuality talks more about like how you develop those feelings for someone. And demisexuality is the not unheard of notion that, you have to fall in love with the essence of the person before you can feel any feelings of sexual attraction for another person. And I definitely really identify with that, where I can see a hot person and be like, that's a hot person. Congrats, dude. But I don't see them and go, oh, I'd love to get you in my bed. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even cross my mind. So a lot of people confuse that with asexuality, which isn't the thing. You can fall in love with someone's personality and their core and their person, without that. Thank you. Yes, I always felt that I'm demisexual, but it can be difficult to express without people invalidating it. Definitely, a lot of people frown at the term because they're like, another label. And you're like, I get that you don't like labels, and I understand that, and hopefully, maybe someday we'll live in a world that we don't need labels. But sometimes labels are useful because it can help someone know that they're not alone, or that they have the vocabulary then to express their identity within that term. So I don't not believe in labels. I don't believe attaching yourself to a label to make it your only identity is true. I feel like it helps us establish these building blocks of who we are. It doesn't define us as a person. But I find the demisexual one really helps people. But like I said, absolutely zero wrong with going out there and sleeping with people. As long as you're being safe and you're looking after yourself. And I pose the question mainly to women, not to, or people who identify as women, or people who don't identify as women. Do you know what? I'll just leave it open. If you're having the do, if you're doing the do, but your pleasure isn't the end goal of it, or not even the end goal, if your pleasure doesn't come into it, if you don't think about your own pleasure at all whatsoever, remotely, it's worth thinking about whether or not you're having these encounters with others as a form of self-harm, right? So if you're going out there and you're, maybe having a one-night stand or anything like that, and you want to go out there and get your rocks off and have a good time, absolutely, go do that. Live your best life. No one is, I'm definitely not trying to take that away from you. I know other people may, but I'm not. I think that that's great, and to have a healthy relationship with yourself and your sexuality, very good, very woo. But I do find it's obviously very, not very obviously, but it's useful to ask yourself the question, like, am I doing this for the right reasons, or am I doing this as a form of self-harm? Because, it's obviously openly talked about that there are different methods to self-harm. It's not just the stereotypical slice and dice of the wrist. There's a lot of things coming from someone who is a blanket addict and will attach herself to something that brings her happy hormones. So I think that's just worth posing to yourself. But like I said, that's not the reason why all people go out and have one-night stands. Not everyone who goes out there to get laid is wanting to self-harm. Some people are going to get their rocks off. Leave them alone. It's chill. Don't judge. My dad got the vid and passed away on the 13th. I'm so sad and you make me happy. Thank you. I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. Self-harm comes in so many different ways. Also, happy Pride Month, Janet, and everyone here in the chat. Yes! Happy Pride to everybody who identifies with the alphabet gang. Because whether you're out of the closet or in the closet, whether you plan on ever coming out of the closet or not, just it's okay to be you. And you're loved, and you deserve love like every other person in the world does. So I think the main thing for me in Pride is people knowing that they deserve to be loved. And I know a lot of people are like, why do people still have a Pride? Like, it's totally socially acceptable to be gay. And I hate that people say that, because that is very, very dismissive to all of the people who that isn't true for. And I don't think it's very useful, and I don't think it's very helpful when people are like, but why do you even need to come out? Or why this or why that? And you're like, the amount of stories I read whenever I did my bisexual coming out video from girls from Northern Ireland who still couldn't come out of the closet because their parents are very, very homophobic was unbelievable. And it boils my blood when people are like, there's no need, like, nobody's homophobic anymore. Eh? Okay. It's like, no, I don't agree. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. So bear those people in mind when you try to say something out of love. It may potentially come across as ignorant when you're like, oh, but nobody cares if you're gay anymore. Love the sentiment that you're trying to portray, but that's not true for every single person who is a part of the Rainbow Riot. It's not always true, okay? So just be loving and caring with your words. But yeah. Do I have anything left to say? Let's look at these last few questions. See if anybody came in with anything new. Are we ever going to have a version of your song on Spotify? Maybe. I mean, we are 10 years this year. Oh, terrifying. 10 years August? Vote for Rihanna as best newcomer. Yes, Daniel. What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you on stage or in life? I mean, I once fell off the stage and my legs split when I did it, so I literally got punched in the crotch by the corner of the stage. Like, corner of the stage in the crotch. Beautiful. Yeah. Would you ever move to Brighton? I actually would move to Brighton. Yeah. I like Brighton a lot. I like the vibe. I like the people. I have friends in Brighton. I would definitely consider it. Maybe someday. Maybe I'm living there right now. Who knows? But I'm gonna go. Konzo's doing a stream now at 8, so I'm gonna go watch that. Alrighty, my dudes. If no one's told you it already, I love you, and you are loved, and you deserve love. People saying ouch in the chat for me getting pummeled by a stage. Nice. But genuinely, thank you so much, and I love you, and you deserve love. And yeah. Also, just to bring it back, I'm going on tour. Please go get tour tickets. It helps me so much. It helps me explain to people, mainly people that work for me. I'm like, we're selling tickets. It's cool. Let's stop panicking. Am I panicking? Yes, I'm panicking. please get your tickets. And what else is there? I have a Patreon. If you want to go support that, more Patreon content coming next week because I'm filming next week for Patreon. And what else? Ask me in the end. Yeah, you'll see me around on the internet. I'll be here. Where else am I going? Alright. Bye, guys.